Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the Race Replay Show here tonight. This took place, of course, last Sunday night with the 802 Winston Cup Series, but of course, we got to get you this great racing action here on a Wednesday night, so we got things ready to rock and roll. I have no clue what is to come for these next 140 laps, but I tell you what, I am definitely looking forward to it. I'm, of course, Brett in the booth here tonight with Turn 3 Racing Network, and like I said, we got race number 5 here tonight at Charlotte for the season number 7 of the 802 Winston Cup Series. Of course, this season off to a hot start, let's say, if you are Josh Parker. I mean, he's already won a handful of races coming into tonight, and I tell you what, he is definitely riding the hot streak. We'll see if that can continue here at Charlotte. Qualifying just about a minute and 30 left right now. It is so far the 23 machine of Joe Hudson there at the top of the chart. So we'll see if Hudson can keep it in that spot. But still about, I want to say, 4 or 5 cars yet to take a time. Hudson actually quick time on his second lap. So a little bit of a fun fact there for the 23 machine. As yeah, it looks like a few last cars here rolling to the Speedway, one of them being the 21 machine of Rob Lowe. First lap is a 29.69. Speaking about lap times, let's throw them up on the side. It looks like here with the replay, not liking the qualifying, so we'll give it, of course, a shot here when it comes to the race. But, of course, qualifying. Quick time so far here tonight, a 29.46 by Joe Hudson. Rob Lowell, first lap of 29.69, good enough for 14th. So you can see there from Hudson to about just outside of the top 10, separated by less than 0.2 of a second. Rob not better on lap number 2, so we'll stay P number 14. And yeah, that gets to the end of qualifying here. So I believe for sure the first time this season, I think he's had one before, but Joe Hudson here tonight, the driver of that 23 machine, will be walking away with his first pole of the season. That is, of course, brought to you by Rock Pirate RC. So congrats to Joe Hudson with that Rock Pirate RC pole award here tonight at Charlotte. So yeah, that will do it here for qualifying. So we get ready now and get ready to head down trackside to go through tonight's starting lineup for race number 5 here at Charlotte. Alrighty, folks, here we go. Tonight's starting lineup will look like the following. Joe Hudson will lead the field to the green flag with that pole award, which is outside the 97 machine of Jeff Pogo. Rolling off first car on the second row here. It seems like he has started here quite a few times here this season. It is the 4 car of Jim Ott. Anthony Garland in the 81 machine will roll off 4th. 5th being Scott Simley in the 33 machine. Matthew Croak, a great qualifying effort by the 87. He will roll off 6th. And 7th is Tyler Waltz in the 9. Brandon Guerin in the 1 car will start in 8th. Connor Dudek in the 50 and 9th. And John Crosby in the 73 machine will round out the top 10. kind of the shock of the season so far. That driver starting in 11th, Mike Kelly, has yet to visit victory lane. To his outside, rolling off 12th, is Christopher Muse. 13th will be the 90 car of Steve Holmes. Rob Lowell in that 21 machine will roll off 14th. 15th is the 48 car of Grant Humphrey. Tristan Penna in the 75 machine will start 16th. James Hislop in the 92 will start in 17th. 18th is the 37 to Connor Patton. Casey Gross in that 77 machine will start 19th. And rounding out the top 20, that will, of course, be Chris Progar in the 11 machine. Anthony Calatoni going to start deep in this one, back in 21st. Same with the 61 car of Steve Ritter. Mason Hall in the 14 will roll off 23rd. Nate Brooker in the 00 will start in 24th. Starting in 25th is Scott Drost. Josh Parker here, another deep start for the 26 car. He will roll off in 26th. Brandon Hint in the 5 in 27. Sean Deal rolling off 28th. Dylan Hinton 29th. And Gary Wright will be 30th. 31st going to Tyler Humphrey. 32nd is Alan Harris. 33rd is Frank Zingen. Michael Wolf will start in 34th. Arabia Caton will start in 35th. Evan Fuqua will roll off in 36th. Then we head back to our last few rows here. Jameson Heath will start in 37th. Johnny Barker will roll off 38th. And starting shotgun on the field is Isaac Morales. So that would do it for tonight's starting lineup. Looks like Connor Dudek not making the call to the green flag here, so that will limit a few, I should say move up a few cars, a few rows. But here we go, iRacing pace car off of the racing surface. We are ready to go green flag racing here at Charlotte. The field on a Hero 1 car round. That is Mike Kelly gonna be sideways there. Everyone else will keep their cars rolling, maybe not contact into one. That is the 75 machine of Tristan Penna, and more cars collected. The 99, the 20, the 76 looks like gonna get a little bit of damage. But yeah, it looks like the worst of the damage going to be the 75 machine of Tristan Penna, as well as the 99 of Alan Harris. I tell you what, the lucky break though, Mike Kelly getting spun kind of right around that area, right on the start. And looks like not going to have any damage and going to be able to tag on straight away to the back of the field here. So yeah, Alan Harris here, you can see the extensive damage on the left front of that 99. A little bit of damage on the left rear. Looks like Sean Deal also down on pit road here in the 44 machine, so his night might be over. Same with the, looks like, the purple machine of Connor Patton. A lot of damage to Connor as well, so a tough break for the 37. So looks like about a handful of cars, you know, for sure 3 cars down on pit road, probably going to be done before they even get off of turn number 2. So those drivers involved with that, definitely a tough break here, as our first caution of the evening here comes out super early into turn number 1. Looks like a few other cars maybe heading down pit road. Mason Hall being one of them. Same with, of course, we saw the 75 machine of Tristan Penna with that big time contact there to the 75. He was for sure the car that got bounced around the most, let's say, in that lap 1 incident. Luckily for most of the field, everyone did an overall pretty good job of avoiding the wreck, not being a car added into that, because especially a wreck like that mid-pack, a lot can go wrong in a hurry, and all it takes is a few drivers late into that one to make that wreck a lot bigger than what it was. So yeah, under our first caution here early, hopefully this time by we should see the leader having the option to choose their line, whether the top or the bottom. Only leaders get that choice here with this 802 Winston Cup Series. Everyone else has to line on up where iRacing tells them. Besides, of course, second place, they'll slot into wherever the leader does not choose. And it looks like Joe Hudson, just like the initial star here, going to choose the bottom side, so the rest of the field going to double on up. Looks like Tristan Penna able to get back out on the racetrack. Same with Mason Hall, but you can see Hall having a lot of nose damage, a lot of right front damage. That car's going to be a handful. We saw the 20 machine of Michael Wolf, also a little bit of contact there. His car looks pretty good, able to get back out here in the race. So it looks like about 3 or so cars done in less than one lap here, and that is a tough break to those 3 drivers. So here we go, field ready to rock and roll, double filed on up. These guys still jonesing for some green flag racing. As soon as we were turning them loose, we had to back them down. So these drivers still all pumped on up, still ready to get racing here at Charlotte. Front row, of course, no difference there. Joe Hudson, Jeff Pogo on this front row. Only real changes pretty much from Mike Kelly on back, with him spinning about the 11th spot. Everyone else moving on up because of that. So top 5, no change there, as here we go. iRacing pace car back down, and once again, Joe Hudson leads the way into the restart zone. He will fire on off late, and we head back to green flag racing here at Charlotte. Jeff Pogo in that outside lane did not get the greatest start, let's say, but able to get things back rocking and rolling. Pogo will slot into third, but man, that 81 machine, let's say, of Anthony Garland, man, he is going to lose quite a few spots, as he is stuck now to the outside of John Crosby here through 3 and 4. I tell you what, folks, this racetrack is a bunch of fun with these cars. I mean, it really can kind of show off patience, especially if you were to get long runs or things like that. But right now, we got a battle for the race lead. Jim Ott to the outside of Joe Hudson. He will keep the momentum. Hudson able to slot in right on the nose of Jeff Pogo. So new race leader out in front here. It will be Jim Ott taking over the point. And I tell you what, Ott has been on a hot streak, let's say, when it comes to finishes, as well as picking up some points. So of course, Texas wasn't exactly what he wanted, but looking to rebound here tonight at Charlotte and doing just that out here, leading the way, as it looks like Joe Hudson going to get some more company. Scott Simley all over the back bumper there of that 23 machine. So it seems like Joe Hudson definitely going for the kind of taking it a little bit more easy here. Going to try and keep those tires underneath and keep that right front nice, because I tell you what, if you can do this race right, keep these cars kind of balanced, you can really build these race cars to either drive loose or tight, depending on how you take care of this race car, as well as take care of those tires. Looking a little bit deeper in the field here, cars right on top of each other. I mean, this is the good old stock car next gen racing, cars right on top of one another, but through the corner we'll see guys, if a car in front of them goes low, they will go high, vice versa, all that good stuff to try and keep that air wherever they can on these race cars to help them what they need for handling. Josh Parker in this 26 machine here, already into the top 20 here tonight. He has made up 6 spots so far in these first 10 laps, so keep an eye on Parker. I mean, the only time he hasn't been fighting for a win was at Kansas, where he got taken out early, was able to survive that one here. So as long as that 26 machine can, you know, keep that car clean, you better watch out for him by the end of this race here. up towards the front here. Nothing changing too much besides John Crosby here into the top 573 machine, able to get around Joe Hudson. Hudson still under fire now, maybe from the one car, Brandon Guerin, as Guerin with a great move there from the bottom to the top, and once again to the bottom here in turn number 3. Brandon, though, going to lose the front end just a little bit, have to wait on the throttle, so that allowed Joe Hudson to hang on to the spot for the time being. A little bit deeper in the field here, we see Rob Lowe, Chris Muse here. Muse up top in that 3 machine, Rob Lowe down low, and kind of a different paint scheme than we normally see, a little white and black out of that 21 machine. I tell you what, I dig the chrome numbers on the 21 here in this one. As almost contact there off of turn number 4. I know the 21 maybe didn't expect the 00 to have to run that heated, but was able to get the nose to that right rear quarter panel, and those two almost made contact there. Right behind them, Scott Drost, as well as the Anthony Calatoni making his way up through the field here. Has a little bit side draft going wrong, as, big time hit there. Scott Drost involved, Nate Brooker, Rob Lowell, oh my goodness. Looks like the 30 machine gonna slide in there. Man, that is some big time hits there in that one, as Nate Brooker already to pit road, and Scott Drost a lot of damage to that 10 machine. Holy smokes, that was a big wreck there heading into turn number 3. So that will bring out our second caution of the evening for sure. 2 cars going to be done here. It looks like maybe 2 more with this 10 and that 30 machine not spinning that right front tire. So we will slow down the field here in this one for, like I said, our second caution. And yeah, this one going to involve quite a few cars, as it usually always is a big one. If you get an incident late down a straightaway, and then usually cars will end up sliding across the racetrack, sliding across the turn, and collecting a few more. And that's definitely what happened there. Scott Drost, definitely an innocent bystander. That car beat up in all 4 corners. Wow. Arabia Kayan also with some heavy damage, like I said, in that 30 Goodwrench machine, as that right front definitely a little tweaked on that car. We'll try and get a closer look as he brings it down to pit road, and you can see that right front kind of hanging out of the wheel well, and that probably going to be a race ender, which is a bummer for the 30 machine, as he has picked up a lot of speed, especially all through last season and continuing into this season. Yeah, quite a few cars here down on pit road. It looks like probably to get some, maybe a little bit splash and go, but probably most of them going to be down to take some fuel this early in this one, try and top on off. Interesting here, Josh Parker, he was making his way up through the field. Parker electing to come down and spend a decent amount of time on pit road, 37 seconds. So that tells me that Parker may have picked up some damage from that one. Had to come on down, try and maybe buff out those fenders a little bit on these composite bodies. Just, you know, pop the dent back out, let's say. But up towards the front here, Jim Ott going to have the choice here to start on the bottom or the top. Looks like Ott's going to choose the bottom. That will put his teammate of Jeff Pogo to the outside. And with 2 teammate drivers here on the front row, you know this start's going to be hopefully coordinated pretty well between the 2 of them. If not, you know, one could maybe get a little bit upset, let's say, or whatnot. But this early in the race, I think still working together with your teammates, at least for the time being, let's say. Of course, something we get to look forward to, a fan favorite, always action-packed. This coming Sunday night, June 21st, these drivers take on the high banks of Daytona. We head back down south to the Florida region and head to some good old midsummer heat down there at Daytona. Super Speedway Racing always puts on a wild show. That, of course, coming this Sunday, June 21st, and you won't want to miss that because Super Speedway Racing, especially with these cars, man, anyone could win on that Sunday night. But here we go, Jim Ott, Jeff Pogo on the front row. iRacing pace car heads down pit road, and we'll see what kind of start the field can get. At least got some laps done there, but we head back to green flag racing here tonight at Charlotte. Front two working together very nicely, able to get a great start. One car, Brandon Guerin, tried to peek to the outside there of Anthony Garland, try and make it 3 wide there through 1 and 2, but just didn't quite have the momentum. But we'll pick up a spot there, able to get around Joe Hudson. Once again, Guerin gonna just get that nose to that clean air up above that 81 machine. But man, I tell you what, some close racing right here between drivers right outside of the top 10. We see him 3 wide, especially coming off of turn number 2 here. That's going to get tight. That's not going to be good. The 87 will go on around Matthew Croak and hard contact to the inside wall. Man, everyone will somehow keep it going. And I think with Croak spinning off the racing surface, yeah, we stay green flag racing here in this one. Like I said, that was 3 wide racing just gone wrong there as everyone just kind of ran out of space as that wall came closer and closer there off of turn number 2. I think that Halvoline black number 92 of James Hislop, yeah, he was the car to the outside there, and it looks like he's going to have some extensive damage, already going to be off the pace, and you can see that right front already kind of towed on in. That's going to very much scrub speed as well as scrub that tire to 0% here in a hurry. A driver making his way up towards the front here, making the charge. That is the 73 of John Crosby, currently trying to work over the 33 of Scott Simley. Simley, though, going to be able to hang on to that spot, and it looks like now Brandon Guerin under fire as the one car kind of stuck on the bottom side for the time being. Yeah, Hudson able to get clear. Hudson now to the inside of Garland. Here comes Tyler Waltz. He will try and get to the outside of Brandon. Brandon, big time moment there, and I think that was maybe assisted by the right car, kind of started to just pack a little bit of air there, and that was almost another moment there off of turn number 2. Once again, we got a battle for that third position between John Crosby and Scott Simley. Crosby on that bottom side gets clear through the middle of the corner, but here comes that run from that top lane in the 33 machine of Simley. So that's kind of the tough thing when it comes to this place, is both lanes are pretty even, so it can really become frustrating, especially if you're working on the same car lap after lap after lap. But it can also be that much more rewarding, you know, once you do get around that car when it is all said and done. Oh, here we go. Once again, 3 wide down the back straightaway. The driver in the middle, that is the 90 machine of Steve Holmes. Holmes, of course, hasn't had the luck here to kick off this season, but always great to see Holmes out here in that 90 machine. Always a sporty looking Ford underneath him, and here tonight he's still hanging out that right outside of the top 10, right where you need to be, especially early in one of these races. So it's still Ott and Pogo out front. Then we continue this battle for this third position. Simley not giving it up easy, and neither with the 73 machine of John Crosby. Neither driver really kind of wanting to fall in line from the other car, and looks like we get trouble here out in this one. Looks like the 55 machine of Gary Wright. Wright gonna have a lot of damage here, and looks like this will bring out our third caution of the evening. So not sure who else was involved, but the 55 machine of Gary Wright probably gonna be night over for him. So as we are under our third caution of the evening, we're gonna go take a quick commercial break here and be back on the other side from a quick word from our sponsor.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Yeah, sadly with the live there, Chris, can't fast forward through it. On the replay, though, you could definitely go for it. But yeah, definitely weird here being on the off night. But I tell you what, I'm pumped on up. And I see that red number 11 machine inside the top 10 there. Looks like restarting in that 7th position here. So looking pretty good here in the beginning part of this one. As, of course, lights are out around the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We are going racing here this time by. As once again, it's been a familiar front row now for Jeff Pogo. And of course, Jimot going to be in control here of our third restart of the night. Looks like the 55 machine of Gary Wright is trying to continue this race as, Jimot, a little bit of wheel spin, but we head back to green flag racing. Simley, though, able to get on it and to the inside of Jeff Pogo. All Pogo, though, has to do is not let the 33 machine clear. He will get some draft from his teammate down the back straightaway. As actually, no, Pogo had big enough for a run, almost got to the outside of Jimot there. Will, of course, give the 97 all the top lane, all that clean air that he needs. And it looks like those two will stay 1-2, but Scott Simley right there as well, still hanging onto that left rear quarter panel of Pogo. Right behind them, once again, John Crosby on the bottom side, going to make the pass there on Anthony Garland. And don't look now, Anthony Calatoni here battling with Chris Proger. Proger up top in that 11 machine, Calatoni down low, and Calatoni here up 15 spots. The 11 car up 13 so far. And how about this 71 machine at Jameson Heath up 29 already, as one car here through the grass. That is the 5 car of Brandon Hinton. Hinton does a great job at saving that race car. Man, that could have been big time trouble for him or the rest of the field. So a great save there by the 5 machine. So laps continue to click on away here tonight in this one, and right now we see a little bit deeper racing in the field. And don't forget, this is still racing for about 25th, and we know season long points is trouble here. The 48 gets into the side of the 60, and huge contact later on is, I think Morales going to get out of there kind of all right. Grant Humphrey, that car is going to be destroyed. Looks like Stephen Holmes not going to find any luck here in this one. He will be involved in this one as well, but a huge hit. Not sure who was in there late, but man, big time contact to Grant Humphrey, as Humphrey going to be done here with this one with, wow, big time collision there in that one. So under now our fourth caution of the evening here, coming out on lap 31. I'm going to try and see who maybe the other car. Oh, it looks like, yeah, Stephen Holmes just clipped by Grant Humphrey as he went on by. And then there was kind of a gray car. That is our pole sitter, Joe Hudson. He was the other car that kind of just got clipped in that one and got sent into the outside wall. So 4 cars going to have pretty extensive damage there with our fourth incident of the night. And here we go. We got some takers here coming down pit road. Going to split the strategy here towards the front. Here before, this was mostly cars towards the back that came in and topped off on some fuel. But now it'll be the 73 machine of John Crosby going to lead the way down to pit road. And Crosby is going to bolt some fresh tires on that race car. So interesting development there in that one is about 20 cars going to stay out on the racing surface. Then about 10 or so down on pit road here. Going to try a little bit of a different strategy. So I love to see it, as this one has kind of kicked off with quite a few cautions here to start this one. But, you know, all it takes is one long green flag run and alternate strategy can really pay on off for you. So yeah, here we go. This is where the cars that pitted kind of rejoin the pack, and looking deep in this one, back in 21st is that 73 machine, that purple and black W machine of John Crosby. So drivers that have made their way up towards the front here, big names here, Anthony Calatoni, Chris Proger inside the top 5, then Jamison Heath just outside of it, Josh Parker and Mike Kelly 7th and 8th. Those guys have some extra fuel in the tank as well. Chris Muse inside the top 10. And how about this? Involved in the first lap incident, Tristan Penna inside the top 10 once again here. So once again here, the lights will get extinguished around the Charlotte Motor Speedway, as well as the OG iRacing pace car, as that means next time by we are going back to green flag racing. Front row has been the same as it's been the last handful of restarts, though. Row number 2 gets a little shaken up with Simley and Calatoni. Row number 3, Progar and Heath. So it looks like Joe Hudson done for the night. Alan Harris continuing to try and rebound after that big incident there in, I should say, earlier in this one. So about 30 cars still out here in the race. We of course started 38 here in this one, so already 8 cars out of this one early, but we try and head back to some green flag racing here in this one, as once again it's going to be Jim Ott in control here of yet another restart, as iRacing pace car here heads down pit road. Rest of the field raring to go 2 by 2, as Ott will lead them into the restart zone. Going to go late once again, and we head back to green flag racing. And once again, a little bit of wheel spin there from the 97 machine of Pogo. Pogo this time going to lose P number 2 to Simley, as Simley able to get clear with a good push from Calatoni. Now side by side for third down the back straightaway. Calatoni will go back down to the bottom side. Simley going to go right in front of Pogo, going to try to get to the outside of Ott. That will slow down Pogo being stuck in dirty air. And once again, you saw it there on the left side of your screen, Anthony Calatoni able to draw it even once again with Pogo, as Simley running that top lane. That is going to hurt the cornering speed from that 97. Pogo finally able to get clear from Calatoni. Will drive that car down to the bottom side here and should be able to start making hay just a little bit better, being single filed on out here Though we head back to double file racing all throughout the rest of the pack as, oh, Chris Broger right up against the fence. Not sure if he got a piece of the fence. If he didn't, man, it was inches off of it. Steve Ritter here in a gaggle of race cars all around him, and keep an eye on that black and purple 73 machine. John Crosby on those new tires. He is trying to slice and dice his way back up through the field here as he's kind of getting bottled on up in that top lane for a moment there. He'll look to make it 3 wide here off of turn number 2, but it looks like it will be done in the row in front of him. Now quickly back to 2 wide. That's close quarters racing, and that's what you gotta expect here with these cars. As looks like Penna there in the wall just a little bit through 3 and 4. That will once again put him 3 wide here down the front straightaway. And the triangle is always quite tricky with 3 wide. It's like, I gotta wait till the bottom car turns, then the middle car can turn, then the outside car has to turn quick. And if you don't get that timing right, one of those cars are going around, and usually through the front stretch triangle here at Charlotte, it's usually a big impact if you do end up getting turned. But at least everyone, at least for the time being, back down to double file. Once again, going to try 3 wide here through the triangle once again as Penna right against the fence, but everyone able to make it work. Man, that is some intense racing. And this is back around 15th, guys. That's awesome to see. We get an update from the driver of the 11 machine saying, yeah, I did get a little piece of the wall there into turn number 1, and yeah, it definitely looked like it the way that car kind of shot and stayed up towards the fence here as we ride on board here with Broger. Once again, trying to get that car to rotate, wrap that top side here as those cars on newer tires, those starting to close on, and you see a big move there by John Crosby down the back straightaway. So these guys are still rocking and rolling, still up towards the front though. Pogo was able to get back around Simley, Calatoni as well. So those two though not done battling for the 3rd position though. As Simley up top, Calatoni down low. Calatoni going to try and slide across the nose. He will do just that off of turn number 2. So less than 100 laps left tonight here in this one, but these guys still putting on a great show. Oh, Simley didn't get a good exit there off of turn number 4. Here comes his teammate Mike Kelly, same with the 1 car Brandon Guerin, and it looked like Josh Parker kind of on the losing end of that one, picking the wrong lane to exit off of turn number 4. Going to cost him about 2 spots or so. So now here comes Parker trying to work over that 33 machine of Scott Simley. And we saw Simley, you know, having a lot of pressure on him from that 73 machine kind of a few runs ago, and I think that it may have used up that 33 machine's tires as Simley continues to move in the wrong direction here as the laps continue to click on by. As here comes now the 71 machine of Heath. So maybe we'll ride on board here with the 11 car because he's giving me some good insights here. And it sounds like Chris Broder here has yet to come down pit road, but he knows that cars now in front of him have stopped. And you can hear a little bit there into turn number 3. I'll stop talking into turn number 1. But you can hear the RPMs drop, trying to save a little bit extra fuel by using that clutch pedal. As not sure if he had contact there or if that thing just stepped on out, but big time sideways. I was going to say, let's listen to it as we hear a ton of tire squeal there going into turn number 1. Yeah, you can kind of hear the RPMs kind of fall on away. motor get a little bit quiet, then kind of pick on up once he, you know, engages that clutch pedal. So, oh, looks like trouble here for another car. As maybe, nope, we pop back up, so we're good there. But yeah, interesting here, the 11 machine is trying to save some fuel and using that clutch pedal. So drivers are already looking to see where they can kind of run for pace, where they can run on distance in the fuel window. But here we go, Anthony Calatoni closing on into the back bumper of Jeff Pogas. I think we hear our first maybe take or two pit road, the 76 of Evan Fuqua down to pit road here. So the top three kind of checked on out for the time being. Mike Kelly now up into fourth. Brandon Guerin there inside the top five, but Calatoni putting a lot of pressure on the Hoonigang teammates of Pogo and Op. But right now, with both them being towards the front, both them can run either lane, not allow Calatoni to get kind of super clean air on the nose of the race car. That's what you call working as a team up towards the front. Head back a little bit deeper here in the field. A good gaggle of cars right here in this one. All the way from 16th Anthony Garland all the way back, I want to say, to the, let's say, 60 machine of Isaac Morales. I mean, that's a 8-10 car pack all right here. And you know, this is 15th through about 22nd. So these guys put on a great show here. And just goes to show, you know, you can have a car come to you later in the run and always have some good competition to race against, let's say, with this 802 Winston Cup Series. So now we see Steve Ritter and Chris Progar side by side up leading this pack here. And like we rode on board with that 11 machine, he's out here clutching, trying to save fuel. As, oh no, trouble! Casey Gross around off the nose of Chris Proger. Huge hit for Proger. He will, it looks like, tag the outside wall hard, and quite a few cars involved with this one. And that will put us out for, I think, our fifth caution of the evening. And man, Chris Proger once again cannot buy any sort of luck as he was involved in that one. Big time contact with Casey Gross as well. Gross going to have some damage there in that 77. And it looks like Anthony Garland going to have some heavy damage. I think he was the one that hit that tri-oval wall with the 11 machine. Dang, Chris, after all that fuel saving, that's the way your race ended. That sucks to hear. And yeah, I still had 30 laps of fuel left in the tank. Man, you were probably, yeah, you were looking probably good on fuel, because you could have probably made it to 80. And yeah, here at Charlotte, if you're really stretching it, could maybe have made it in a one stop. But you know, the rest of the field that has not pit are probably going to thank you. But I'm sure, you know, that's not going to make the situation too much better for you with you being the cause of this caution. But yeah, with this caution, like I was saying, pit road's going to be busy. Everyone but, I want to say, a handful of drivers here down on pit road. So here we go, the first real big stop of the night. We will keep an eye at the end of pit road here and see who wins the race off of pit road. So it looks like it was Jeff Pogo, the first car there off of pit road. Then Jim Ott and Anthony Calatoni. So no real change up towards the front, let's say, with pit road. And it looks like no driver, at least at the moment from what I am seeing, that has any sort of penalty or anything like that. The cars that did stay on out, Brandon Guerin, John Crosby, and Tyler Waltz, all going to stay on out. So Brandon Guerin going to pick up a bonus point for leading lap here, and looks like the one car will be the car leading us back to the green flag, as it looks like Jamison Heath here back down on pit road in that 71 machine. So that will put him a little bit off cycle all the way to the back, though. We're going to lose some track position for the 71, as it looks like Brandon Guerin going to elect to restart on the inside lane here. So the field doubling on up, and we get ready to head back to green flag racing, as it will be a totally new front row here. And I think the fifth or so restart of the night, it's going to be Brandon Guerin in the one car in control of the start, but it'll be John Crosby, the other car, on the front row. Then row number 2, Tyler Waltz, Jeff Pogo. And then row number 3, Jim Ott and Anthony Calatoni. So yeah, like I said, that incident involved quite a few cars. It looks like Evan Fuquay out of the race. Casey Gross, Chris Progar, Anthony Garland, Sean Deal. Sean Deal's still here. Same with Brandon Hinton, but they are still down on pit road, so extensive repairs getting done, and that puts about 23 cars currently on the racing surface as we get ready to head back to green flag racing. Brandon Guerin going to be in control here in the restart zone, and that one car going to get a great start out in front as we head back to green flag racing here. Tyler Waltz going to maybe get to the inside of John Crosby. Those two will go side by side here, though, through 1 and 2. Waltz had some good momentum. Crosby almost in the wall. Calatoni for sure in the wall there off of turn number 2. So yeah, like I said, Crosby and Waltz last pitted lap 32. Of course, everyone else run brand new fresh tires, so we'll see what 15-20 laps of tire wear makes us. Here we go, 3 wide down the front straightaway. Jeff Pogo in the middle. Mike Kelly down low. John Crosby up top. Man, how did they make that work? And once again, it's going to be tight this time off of turn number 2. As it looks like, yeah, John Crosby may be realizing, hey, I can't really fight these guys too hard. Instead of wearing out my tires now, trying to defend every single spot, we'll go drop on back, wait for the cars in front of me to come to me, and I like that cause. Brandon Guerin, though, still hanging on to this race lead. As here we go once again. It's going to be 3 wide as, Steve Ritter way off the racing surface, down on the apron there, and somehow they made it work there down that back straightaway. Woohoo! Off of turn number 4, we see 3 wide, though, for the race lead, as it looks like it will be Jim Ott taking over the point. As, yeah, Brandon Guerin with that tire disadvantage, a little bit slow off the corner, and, man, Brandon Guerin not having the turn in that race car. Here comes now Josh Parker. He will try and get a nose to the outside of Jim Ott. Just about did it. Is Steve Ritter going to go on around down the back straightaway? Simley going to be involved once again, the 20 machine of Michael Wolf, and that will be now yet another caution in this one. So that one definitely maybe started around the 61 machine of Steve Ritter. Ritter going around sideways down the back straightaway. Looks like going to have some pretty extensive right front damage on the 61 machine. So we'll see how this shakes on out from this one. But under now our 6th caution of the evening here on lap number 60. And I think with this caution here, probably just going to be cars with damage down on pit road. So We'll be right back after a quick commercial break and find out who is still continuing here tonight in this one.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Alrighty, we're able to get a quick drink of water here. It looks like about 23 or so cars still left in the race here tonight in this one. As here we go, the field ready to rock and roll. Lights are out once again, and we get ready for our 6th restart of the night. And once again, we're back to the same old, same old. It is going to be Pogo and I on the front row here of restart number 6. The first car, one lap down, I think, is the 10 machine of Scott Drow, so he has been hanging on out. Alan Harris also battling for the Lucky Dog, same with Brandon Hinn and Sean Deal, everyone else, so still on the lead lap as here we go. Jeff Pogo going to be in control of the start here. Pogo going to go late in the box, and him and I going to get a great start out in front as those two will stay side by side heading into turn number 1. Right behind them, Josh Parker looking to make it 4 wins of 5 this season. Parker to the inside of Ott down the back straightaway. Right behind them, Mike Kelly, Anthony Calatoni, Brandon Guerin. Also, Guerin electing not to pit under there, so interesting call there from the 1 camp. Mike Kelly with a big run into turn number 1. He will stick it 3 wide on Parker and Ott. How will these guys sort themselves out down the back straightaway? As a little bit of contact there between Kelly and Parker. Kelly going to have to pedal that race car just a little bit. And with that, we'll fall back into line as here comes now with Jim Ott trying to keep the pace to keep Parker behind him. He will go around Jeff Pogo for the time being. So Pogo and Ott side by side for this race lead. Now here comes Anthony Calatoni right behind them. Man, Brandon Guerin almost in the fence. He is using every inch of racetrack right behind them. So top 3 going to single file on out up towards the front here for the time being. Chris Muse able to get on through in that 3 machine as Tyler Waltz, Brandon Guerin, kind of a rolling roadblock for the cars with fresher tires right behind them because these two battling for position. But of course also trying to keep as much track position for when the next time they come down pit road, if they can time it with the rest of the pack. Hey, we haven't talked about this guy too much. Frank Zingen, he is inside the top 10 in the 62 machine. Zingen currently up into 8th here. And right now, once again, we're getting them stacked on up 2 by 2, about 4 rows deep here in this one. Once again, Brandon Guerin just can't get that 1 car to rotate exactly how he would like. Also, we got the 82, 81 on the car. That is the Sonic machine of Dylan Hinn. Hinn, though, going to get into the back of Johnny Barker. Barker going to go for a massive slide through 3 and 4. And how did everyone avoid him? I think John Crosby maybe came back into traffic just a little bit, but it looks like everyone going to be pretty all right, as I think the tough break, Steve Holmes, going to get the most of the damage out of that one, and he was just an innocent bystander just trying to avoid the wreck there, and I think slid into the inside wall just a little bit. So under our 7th caution here of the evening, and yeah, I think we stay under the green, or I should say the green, under the caution conditions, but we should see most of the field, let's say, stay out on track. I don't think it's been enough laps, let's say, to take some tires. If you're in the camp of Brandon Guerin, though, I think this time you're going to have to come down pit road and take some tires at this point. As, yeah, we do see quite, I should say, a handful of takers here down on pit road. The one car, Brandon Guerin, being one of those cars, and I definitely think that is the right call here at this stage for the drivers that maybe didn't come down on 53 with the rest of the field. Looks like this time by the 99 machine of Alan Harris going to be the lucky dog. So that will, I think, put about 21 or so cars here on the lead lap. So luckily that one, I don't think anyone going to be out of the race here from that 7th caution. So that is really, really good to see with this one. As yeah, like I said earlier in the show, this coming Sunday night here, June 21st, you won't want to miss it. It is these 802 Winston Cup drivers taking on Daytona Super Speedway racing, where we can always expect the big one. High intensity racing, close quarters at high speeds. That, of course, coming this Sunday night. And that should be a good one here. Can't wait to call that one. And then the series heads back to Chicagoland. So that one right about when the real Cup Series head to Chicagoland. That will be a bunch of fun there, calling that race as well. So here we go. Lights go out around the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and it's going to be Jeff Pogo picking the inside lane. And I think that's kind of a no-brainer here in this one. That'll put his teammate of Jim Ott behind him in the inside lane. And I think once we go back green flag racing, it'll be Jeff Pogo here with this green with cross flags here. So at the restart here of this one, we'll be halfway through this race here tonight at Charlotte. So front row going to be Jeff Pogo, Josh Parker. Row number 2, Jim Ott, Mike Kelly. Row number 3, Anthony Calatoni, and then Frank Zingen. That 62 machine looking sporty here, and he is right there now within striking distance. The first car on brand new fresh tires, that is going to be the 7 machine of Tyler Humphrey, restarting about the 12th position. So we'll keep an eye out for that red, white, and blue 7 machine. As here we go, Jeff Pogo gonna fire on off, and we get the cross flags here halfway down, halfway home here in race number 5 at Charlotte. So that bottom side going to get a pretty good start here. Have a shorter distance to travel through 1 and 2. Jim Ott able to slide right across the nose of Josh Parker. So once again, it's going to be Ott and Pogo out in front here tonight. Though Josh Parker, like we've seen quite a few times this season, that 26 machine looking very, very sporty here in this one. Though Parker not going to have the 3 and 4 that he needs, he will lose some spots to Calatoni and Kelly. Here comes now Tristan Penna in that 75 machine. As yeah, Tyler Humphrey on those fresh tires. He is already up into 10th here, able to grid around there. Dylan Hinton in the 81 on the car, 82 in the timing and scoring. Right behind them, 2 teammates there, Johnny Barker and Steve Ritter, going to go side by side here through turns 1 and 2. Up towards the front though. Jeff Pogo, Jim Ott now trying to hold off Anthony Calatoni. Calatoni's going to throw his hat in the mix here and see what he can do. And Calatoni able to pick off one of the two as he's able to get around Jim Ott. Now going to try and get around Jeff Pogo for this race lead. Calatoni has yet to lead here tonight, so he would love probably at least to get a bonus point out in front. And Calatoni going to be able to get clear. Maybe not. Maybe yes. It's close. No. Calatoni not quite able to hold off there Jeff Pogo. As man, right behind them, Josh Parker making a big move on Jim Ott. Trying to shoot it to the inside into turn number 3. And I think both those cars kind of got tight. Now here comes Parker once again to the inside of Ott. But for the first time here tonight, Anthony Calatoni going to pick up a lap lead and take over the race lead here. So now here comes now Mike Kelly going to try and get to the right rear quarter panel of Jim Ott. Not going to be able to do so, but what kind of run can Kelly get down this front tri-oval and into turn number 1? Looks like quite won't be enough to make that move. As right in front of Tyler Humphrey here is Frank Zingen and Jamison Heath here battling for position. Remember, Heath was the driver on kind of the different strategy. Came in 1 lap later than the field, so lost all his track position. He has re-driven his way up through the field in that 71 machine. He could be a threat here in this one, as a little bit of paint trading, let's say, going on up towards the front, as it looks like Josh Parker and Jeff Pogo going to lean on each other a little bit. This could be a good battle here. Those two going to stay side by side here for the time being, and pretty much the only side by side battle. A little bit deeper though, you know, we get a kind of a 4 so car battle, but this is the best battle up towards the front. Let's ride on board here with Jeff Pogo, see what he is seeing, see what he is trying to do up here in this second lane here at Charlotte. So that's what it's like to be on the top side. Let's head down to the bottom side now with Josh Parker. And you can hear Jeff Pogo, that little bit extra RPM, that little bit of momentum, able to clear him down the back straightaway. So Pogo will hang on to P number 2 for the time being. And with those two battling, Anthony Calatoni has now broken the draft to the cars behind. So he is in his own island for the time being here, out in front and leading the way. Calatoni probably hoping this race goes green to the end, as Josh Parker power move there to get clear from Pogo, but Pogo says, I can do it right back. As oh, Pogo big time loose into 3 there. Good heads up driving by Josh Parker to see that Pogo got a little bit loose there and then got tight, moved up the racetrack to prevent an incident. And now we'll see if Josh Parker can chase down our race leader, Anthony Calatoni. A little bit deeper in the field here, Brandon Guerin trying to go around Isaac Morales. Remember that 60 machine involved in an incident earlier in this one. He is still running just outside of the top 15, so still a pretty solid night from the 60 machine, especially being involved in an incident. Simley been involved in multiple incidents here tonight. He is back in 17th. Chris Muse back here in 18th. Just down on pit road, though, the last caution. So those drivers that pitted under the last caution maybe going to try and see how far they can stretch that fuel tank. Maybe try for a splash and go if this race does go green to the end. So Josh Parker able to close about a 10th, now maybe 2 to Anthony Calatoni. Those two, though, driving away from the rest of the pack of Pogo and Odd. Tyler Humphrey, remember, he is the driver furthest up on fresh tires. Him and, I believe, John Crosby, Connor Dudek, those two side by side behind Frank Zingen there. Those cars we're going to have to keep an eye on, especially as this run continues to get deeper and deeper and more green flag laps are put onto these tires. I think with the field getting spread on out just a little bit, I'll take a break from yapping to you folks, and we'll do a little turn 3, turn it up here tonight at Charlotte. I tell you what, folks, we got a good battle between teammates here up towards the front. Jim Ott and Jeff Pogo putting on a show, but that battle may be done and over with right now as Jim Ott able to get around Jeff Pogo for that third position. Things cooling on off just a little bit, let's say, as cars starting to kind of find their footing, get into a rhythm here with this longer green flag run here tonight in this one. Jamison Heath able to get around Tristan Penna, so that 71 machine continuing to march up through this field, now putting a lot of pressure on the back bumper of Mike Kelly. So let's ride on board with Mike Kelly, looking on back to the 71 machine and see if we can try and see Jamison Heath here set up a move here on Mike Kelly. As Heath just kisses the wall there through 1 and 2, though. He will get the big run from the top side, and looks like Heath not going to take the run that time. Going to give the 22 machine a shot in the back bumper here, but once again, that 71 going to go up towards the wall through the corner, get some fresh air on the nose of that race car. So, and once again, Mike Kelly going to maybe protect that bottom side just a little bit, and that allows Heath get a little bit further on up from this 22 machine. Here we go. Mike Kelly had to pedal the race car just a little bit to not get up towards the wall, and that is the move that the 71 needed to make it. Made it there pretty easily and pretty quickly as well. Heath now back inside the top 5 and trying to run down maybe Ott or Pogo. Once again, Pogo and Ott, man, those two are like glued to one another when they're both out here in a race. I mean, these two have been battling with one another all night long. Very similar pace, and you can come to kind of expect that, let's say, with teammates, using the same notebook, using the same notepad, trying to compare notes, see where one driver maybe is a little faster than another. And Josh Parker, though, within right around 0.4 of a second of Anthony Calatoni. So the march has slowed on down definitely, but he is still within the draft of Calatoni here as we look at currently out on track here. John Crosby trying to work over Johnny Barker. These two battling just outside of the top 10 here. So there we see the move being done by Chris Muse there on Frank Zingen. Muse, of course, having that tire advantage, though that tire advantage has only moved up to about 8th position. Connor Dudek currently leading the way in that 50 machine. And remember, Connor qualified inside the top 10, so he has some speed here tonight at Charlotte. Now trying to work, and now it looks like over Tristan Penna for that 7th position as well. So these newer tires, definitely from here on out, are really going to start to show on off nicely, let's say. 3 cars starting to close in on a battle within one another, let's say. Maybe 4 if Isaac Morales here joins in the fight. And that 60 machine seems to be rolling pretty nicely up in that top lane here. So has started to track down John Crosby as well as Johnny Barker. Tyler Humphrey and Tyler Waltz here going to go side by side. The battle of Tyler's currently for that 9th position. So far, Humphrey going to be able to defend for the time being, but that could change at any point in time if that 9 car starts to get a big run, both the 7 and the 9 on the same tire strategy. So it all comes down to maybe who took better care of their stuff, or who maybe has the better long run pace here. As looks like John Crosby going to get around Johnny Barker. It looks like Barker heading to pit road. So takers under green flag pit stops. Johnny Barker going to be the first car down to pit road here. So now if you're a driver up towards the front, how soon do you head to pit road? That will be the question here. As Anthony Calatoni here leading the way, Josh Parker back into P number 2. Jim out in 3rd, Jeff Pogo 4th, Jamison Heath in that 6th position here. Oh, as caution out on the Speedway, I'm getting word that it was a slow white car, and it looks like it was Johnny Barker. So Barker from pit road looks like gonna draw the caution, so must have spun up onto the racing surface, and that's a tough break for him to not only come down pit road but then be the cause of the caution, because now everyone else can get a pit stop here under caution. So man, Johnny Barker, another tough break for the 6 machine yet another time here this season. So, well, we saw an important pit stop on lap 53 here at 101. Is going to be another important one here. Anthony Calatoni probably going to lead the whole entire field once again down to pit road. So we'll keep an eye here at the end of pit road, see who will win this race off of pit road. But like I said, Anthony Calatoni going to lead pretty much the whole field here down to pit road. If you're on the lead lap here, you are coming down pit road here this time by. So Calatoni, that 84 machine into the box. Right side's going on up. Left side soon to follow. And here we go. We'll watch at the end of pit road here and see who wins the race off of pit road. That could determine the winner with under 40 to go. Alrighty, folks, we are back here to check out where everyone kind of shook on out from there. Josh Parker able to beat Anthony Calatoni there off of pit road, so it will be Parker in control here on the restart. So row number one going to be Parker and Calatoni. Row number two going to be Pogo, Heath. Row number three going to be Dudek and Kelly. Jim Ott having a slow stop there. We'll see how that shakes out for the 4 machine. Alrighty, folks, here we go. iRacing pace car gonna peel on off and head down pit road once again, and it's gonna be Josh Parker here in control of the restart here. Parker gonna go early. Calatoni gonna get maybe turned on that one, and a huge break. Oh no, more cars involved. Johnny Barker gonna get big time contact there, and I think maybe the 82 machine also gonna have some damage as well. Man, and you gotta wonder for Calatoni, was it wheel spin? Or was it maybe Jamison Heath with a little bit of blink? I mean, we saw that car disappear right at the wrong split second. And man, Calatoni, that left rear pointing in the wrong direction. That car is going to be done. And man, he seemed like he had a good shot to win it there. And this night going to come to an end here with, yeah, that car is definitely done for the night. Alrighty, folks, so we head right back to caution condition. Looks like for sure one car. Oh, I think the other car that was involved was the 61 machine of Steve Ritter. Oh, you hate to see it there. So Ritter going to be done here with this one. Cal Tony going to be done, and Johnny Barker, heavy damage on the 6, probably going to be done as well. Though, going to put some tires on it. We'll see if the 6 car can get back out there. Alrighty, so restart drama here for that one. We'll see if we can get things rocking and rolling once again as we stay under the caution condition here for, it looks like, another lap and 3/4, let's say. So Dylan Hinton, yeah, he was the other car to get some damage as well. So Steve Ritter must have got some damage somewhere else in that 61, because yeah, it was that blue 81 of Dylan Hinton that definitely got a piece of Cal Tony the first time around there, and you can see the damage to the right front of his race car. So we start to get closer to the countdown clock. That's, of course, about 10 or so laps away here tonight in this one, as we try and get back racing to the end of this. Top 5 after all this, shaking on up. Josh Parker leading the way, Jeff Pogo in second, Jamison Heath in P number 3. Connor Dudek looking for a career night here. He is in 4th. Mike Kelly in 5th. Tristan Penna involved in that first incident. He is in 6th. Jim Ott 7th. That's, I think, the lowest Ott has been tonight. Tyler Waltz in 8th. John Crosby 9th. And Scott Simley, that 33 machine, somehow back inside the top 10. So here we go. Josh Parker once again going to choose the inside lane here. Jeff Pogo going to file up to the top side as the rest of the field going to re-rack and restack, and we get ready to get back to some green flag racing here tonight at Charlotte. Alrighty, folks, we get ready to get back here. It looks like about 17 cars still on the lead lap and ready to rock and roll. Josh Parker going to be the control car here in this one. We'll see where Parker can go here. He will go early in the box, and we head back to green flag racing here at Charlotte. The top lane did not get the greatest start there in that one. That allows Mike Kelly now up to P number 3 as he tries to get around Jeff Pogo. Connor Dudek, John Crosby side by side. They're right behind the 4 car of Jim Ott. Those two going to be side by side. Mike Kelly got a little bit tight. Kelly big time tight. Kelly into the side of Ott. Huge contact as Ott will go around. Frank Zingen will be involved. And man, quite a few cars involved in that one. Big names like Jim Ott and Mike Kelly going to be involved here in this one on lap 108 coming to 109. Looks like no other car with kind of heavy damage. We for sure saw the 62 machine of Frank Zingen maybe clip the 4 Jim Ott, but that front end looks pretty good for Frank, so he may have gotten away with one as Ott done for the night. Mike Kelly looks like might be the same. I mean, that car is definitely not killed. He can definitely continue the race, but will have to deal with some damage late in the race. That's going to be a tough one to deal with. So under our 10th caution here tonight, we're going to go one more time here to another commercial break here, and we'll be back for our 10th restart of the night here at Charlotte.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
So here we go, 10th restart of the night. Josh Parker going to lead the way to the green flag. To his outside will be Jamison Heath. Row number 2, Jeff Pogo and John Crosby. Row number 3, Connor Dudek and Tristan Penna, as we get ready to rock and roll for this 10th restart here. Late into this one, like I said, about now going to be about 3 or so laps until the countdown clock will start here and get to the end of this one. So Josh Parker going to lead the way into the restart zone as we head back to green flag racing here in this one. Once again, the top lane does not get a good start. Jeff Pogo up to P number 2 by the time they get into turn number 1. Connor Dudek now side by side with Jamison Heath for that 3rd position, as the field kind of lighter on out and trying to figure out where they want to go here, what kind of moves you're willing to make late in this one. Heath up against the fence. He is keeping that momentum rocking and rolling. That white 33 machine is Scott Simley. He is slicing and dicing his way up through the field. Brandon Guerin top side of 3 wide here through turns 1 and 2. How about this James Hislop? That Valvoline number 92, that car was beat on up at one point. He is now making his way back through the field once again inside of the top 10 late in this one. So Heath and Dudek still side by side for that 3rd position as a battle for a podium here, and I think for both of them might be career best finish. I'll double check for the 71, as I know he has had some good speed here at a couple points this season. But yeah, I think this will be the best finish for either of these drivers, trying to hang on to that here tonight at Charlotte. Last time by, Jeff Pogo ran his fastest lap of the night. So this 97 machine trying to get rocking and rolling and trying to chase down Josh Parker late into this one. Connor Dudek able to get clear from Jamison Heath for the time being. So that 50 machine going to occupy P number 3 as, Heath going to get a piece of the wall there off of turn number 4. That will open up the door for John Crosby, as here comes Crosby now to the inside of the 71. So Crosby able to get clear, able to make a beautiful move there. And the key with this, make it quick as well, not getting stuck side by side for multiple laps. Definitely can help you chase down the next few cars in front of you. The next car in front of Crosby, Dudek already to the outside of him now with 24 to go here tonight at Charlotte. So once again, we see a side-by-side battle for that 3rd position, as Crosby going to be able to get clear there off of turn number 2. So even with kind of electing the alternate strategy, could have really thrown off his race. Crosby able to once again be right back within striking distance up here on the podium. James Hitzloff now looking to get inside, I believe, the top 5 for the first time here tonight, as he will take a peek to the inside of Jamison Heath here through turns 1 and 2. Right behind them, Brandon Guerin as well, taking a peek to the inside of, I believe, the 9 car of Tyler Waltz. Once again, good to do the same here in 3 and 4. Right behind them, Frank Zingen, Tristan Penna battling for the 10th position. So that is a top 10 spot as those two go side by side as well. So Penna up top, Frank Zingen down low. Best battle on the Speedway is this current battle for 10th. Zingen has the advantage through the corner and corner exit, though Penna will have the momentum up on that second lane here in this one. As once again, with these cars side by side, now we see the Sitco 60 machine of Isaac Morales start to close on in as well. So this could very quickly turn into a 3-car battle here within a few laps. Well, this time by Josh Parker will be the first car to see 20 laps to go here tonight, as Parker will cross the start-finish line about a 3/4 of a second advantage to Jeff Pogo, and John Crosby definitely chasing down Pogo, at least for the time being. Oh, Tyler Waltz from the apron, almost, he did clip Scott Simley. Somehow, that didn't turn Simley as, whoo, that was a big time moment. Tyler Waltz clipping the apron, and that race car took off from underneath him, and man, that could have been a big time incident. Luckily, everyone facing the right direction, and we stay under the green flag conditions here. Still right behind them, Frank Zingen, Tristan Penna still duking it out for this 10th position. These two still stuck side by side with one another, and that finally changes there off at turn number 4. Give P number 10 to Frank Zingen. So things kind of calming on down for the time being. 2 teammates looking to get ready. Maybe 3 teammates, one of them being multiple laps down, but 3 team cars all in a row here. That is Tyler Humphrey, Chris Muse, as well as Grant Humphrey. Though it's only Tyler and Chris, battling for a position, let's say, but it was 3 cars all in a line for the time being. As now Frank Zingen starting to run down Tyler Waltz. Waltz probably got that right front smoking hot with that turn 3 a few laps ago. So the 62 trying to chase down this 9 here late in this one. Up towards the front though, Jamison Heath. He is starting to turn back up the wick. This 71 machine looking very sporty the last 2 laps. We'll see if he can keep up this pace here late, because he should be able to get around Connor Dudek here pretty quick, and then maybe can set his sights on John Crosby, as here comes the 71 starting to get that thing wound on up on the top side. So Jamison Heath here back up to P number 4, currently the biggest mover of the night. This 71 car up 33 spots from where he started, 125 laps ago, let's say. Tyler Waltz, Brandon Guerin, Frank Zingen, all within a good battle here inside of this top 10 as well. So we'll look back to this battle as looks like Tristan Penna continuing to lose spots. Penna now falling back to about 14th or so. So he is starting to lose the handling on that race car just a little bit. Here comes now Frank Zingen to the outside of Tyler Waltz. Looks like Brandon Guerin will give him the draft down the back straightaway. Now Frank Zingen now up to P number 9 and trying to get around That one car, Brandon Guerin. Oh, Walt's going to get tight. Guerin going to get tight. Walt's a huge hit to the outside wall there. Man, these guys throwing haymakers, going at it up towards the front. A little bit of an issue for our race leader, Josh Parker. He got big time sideways through 1 and 2. That has allowed Jeff Pogo to close on in within about 3 car lengths. So we could have a battle for the race win here tonight. So these now up to a 4-car battle here right around the top 10, as Brandon Guerin here starting to lose the handling on his race car just a little bit, starting to get tight for the driver in the number 1 because he is not turning as well as the cars around him. I tell you what, big move there by Tyler Waltz to the inside of the 1 car. Those two going to stay side by side here. That's going to allow Chris Muse, Frank Zingen to start to drive on away out of their front windshields. So still about a 2 to 3 car length gap with now 10 to go. Out in front for the race lead. We'll look back a little bit deeper to this good battle here right around the 10th position or so. As now Brandon Guerin and Tyler Humphrey going to go side by side here. Tyler Humphrey going to be able to clear the 1 car there off of turn number 2. So move Tyler Humphrey back into the top 10. Now move Tyler Humphrey from where he started up 21 spots here in this 7 machine. Alrighty, we get down now to single-digit laps here to go here tonight. As this battle's starting to cool on off just a little bit. James Hisloff on the back bumper of Connor Dudek. Maybe got Dudek a little bit loose, but Hisloff had to lift a ton there. So that 92 going to have to try and run down the 50 here in about 8 laps or so. Isaac Morales now trying to make the move on Tyler Waltz. Is now a battle for the 12th position as Tyler Waltz in that black number 9 up top, down low the 60 machine of Isaac Morales. And man, I liked what I saw from that 60 machine right there, putting those left side tires right on that painted line. The painted line here at Charlotte is on the racetrack, so if you can put your lefts down there in that, you can sometimes get a little bit extra grip, a little bit extra rotation, and that can big time help, especially if you're trying to run the bottom side here. Speaking about someone not running the bottom though, Jamison Heath has run down John Crosby, ripping the top here, and it looks like Crosby, seeing the 71s faster, going to give him the top lane here into turn number 3. So Jameson, though, going to get a little bit of the wall there off of turn number 4, but able to carry enough momentum. He will probably for sure be clear off of turn number 2, though. He'll once again put the right rear quarter panel into the fence here like driving a dirt car. He is using up every inch of the racetrack that he can, and I tell you what, putting on a great show here for the battle for 3rd, as the battle for the race lead starting to get very much closer, now within 2 car lengths here. When now a single open palm from the flagman that time by. It is now 5 to go with Jamison Heath now clearing John Crosby for 3rd. Chris Muse now trying to get around Frank Zingen. Zingen has driven up to that 7th position, but now going to get some company from Muse and maybe Simley as well, as both those cars starting to reel on in. That 62 now, that time by at the stripe. It is now 4 to go, and we'll watch this battle, this cat and mouse battle for this race win. Jeff Pogo, of course, running a little bit higher up than Josh Parker. He is close enough, definitely can feel the effects of the dirty air, so Parker trying to run the middle to the bottom side, let's say, whereas Pogo middle to the top here, depending on where that 26 car goes. Now this time by 3 laps to go here tonight in this one. Oh, we see Parker starting to search around this racetrack now to the middle of the top. Pogo right against the fence, and here comes Jeff Pogo. Pogo nailed turns 1 and 2. He has a big run into turn number 3. He will back up his entry a lot there. Give himself the space. Try and get the corner exit that he needs, because this time by out from the flag, man. Popsicle sticks in the air. It is 2 to go here tonight at Charlotte. Everyone else kind of no real other battles here. 15 cars on the lead lap, and we'll see what Jeff Pogo can do. As here we go through turns 3 and 4. This time by at the start finish line, we will see the white flag. It will be 1 lap to go, and we are racing back to the checker. Josh Parker will be the first to see the white. Will he be the first to see the second? Jeff Pogo has one more shot. What does he have for turns 1 and 2? What kind of run can he get down the back straightaway? Here we go. Pogo has the draft. He has some momentum on his side. He will sail it into the top side here in 3 and 4. Josh Parker will protect the bottom. Here we go off of turn number 4. It's going to be a drag race to the line, but it's going to be Josh Parker picking up win 4 of 5 races to start this season. Jeff Pogo able to come home with a great second place. Jameson Heath in third. John Crosby in fourth. And Connor Dudek rounding out the top 5 as wow. What a great run to the finish here tonight at Charlotte. And like I said, folks, you are going to want to tune in here this upcoming Sunday night as these drivers take on Daytona for a 200-miler. It's going to be a good one. As here we go. Josh Parker, he knows this feeling pretty well already. The hottest streak to start an 802 Winston Cup Series season. Josh Parker is on an 80% win rate here, as he will burn it on down on the front stretch of Charlotte. And don't go anywhere, folks. Even on an off night, we have a little bit of some Riptide Radio post-race show that coming to you live here in just one moment. So we'll be back after a quick commercial break with our post-race show.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
All Alrighty, folks, we are back here at the Charlotte Raceway here, chatting with our post-race show. Our first driver we'll be talking to is the driver of the number 71 machine, our third place finisher. It is Jameson Heath. Jameson, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here. Let me double check my settings, make sure we good. Hey, Jameson, do you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Alrighty, awesome, man. We got you loud and clear as well. I know not the normal night, not the post-race afterglow, as I like to say it, but we appreciate you coming out here on a Wednesday night. And man, what an impressive run for you in that 71 machine. Tell me about your night and how you're feeling at the end of 140 laps there.
Yeah, it was a great race all night. It was unfortunate I disconnected right as qualifying started, so I had to start in the back, but I knew I'd have pace. I just kept patient the entire night, worked methodically through the field, and the results showed. I was able to get into the battle late and then just stay up there for the rest.
Yeah, that you were. Yeah, that you were, as well as, man, I tell you what, like you said, qualifying, weren't able to put down a lap, but man, because of that, biggest mover, and you moved up a whopping 34 positions. That's impressive.
Yeah, man, I felt good. I like being on the offense. I don't like having to fend off positions. I like to be the one passing. So, I felt good, especially at Charlotte. I like Charlotte. It's very fun, multi-groove track.
Yeah, that it is. Luckily, multi-groove, you could go where the car in front of you isn't. But I tell you what, man, if someone wanted to race you hard here at Charlotte, it seemed like you could get stuck those side by side. Did you get any frustrating kind of situations trying to be on the offense through the field?
No, not really. I mean, since I knew I had the pace, I just kind of, if they were racing too hard early on, I'd kind of just let them have it and wait for them to burn their stuff up. It was very, as well as just being on offense, you kind of still got to manage those tires. Tires are a huge thing, especially at Charlotte cookie cutter track.
Yeah, and I mean, when it comes to, saving tires, that can always be a tricky thing, whether, especially with these next-gen cars and, the tire model always kind of getting tweaked. What's been without giving away, all the secrets, let's say, what's kind of your go-to with saving tires? Is it lifting a little bit earlier, or is it a little bit more brake? What do you kind of like to do?
Honestly, I think it's just finding the clean air, because the dirty air will hurt you even worse than just like not pushing as hard. So luckily, Charlotte's an easy track to do that at. You can run any line, go anywhere, and find that clean air and manage your tires that way.
And I tell you what, you did a great job slicing and dicing through the field. What do you think you needed a little bit more? That last restart coming on, I think like 111 or so. And would you need a little bit more to maybe get up there with Jeff Pogo and Josh Parker at the end?
Yeah, I think I struggled mainly on short run speed. I knew I had the long run speed, but getting off those restarts was where I struggled. And on that final restart there, I think I dropped from second to sixth and then had to climb back up to third just because firing off the restarts wasn't as good. So if I can get that to improve, then I think I can compete for a win here soon.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, limited starts, under 5 starts for you, and already career best here tonight at Charlotte P number 3. That's always got to feel pretty good, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely came into this league knowing it was going to be more of a challenge for me, and I think I'm happy with the progress so far.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's been great to see. I always love cheering on a 71 car. It's always, my go-to number. I mean, why'd you choose it as well, Jameson? I always love to hear a little backstory.
It was actually, I was playing NASCAR Heat 5, and I literally just had to find a number that wasn't being used. I picked number 71, and then a couple years later, I started using it for my soccer jerseys, and then ended up just using it for everything.
Nice, that's awesome to hear. And yeah, usually a pretty good number to me, and hopefully it treats you the same way. And Jameson, get to know you a little bit more, first time I like to ask people, especially chatting with them, is everyone kind of always has a little bit different sim setup. So what do you got these days for wheels, pedals? What are you looking at? All that good stuff.
I have a Moza R5, and a sequential shifter as well, and then I have a frame and seat from Next Level Racing and a dual monitor setup.
Nice. So yeah, pretty sweet. And that Moza wheel, I've always heard really good things from that Moza ecosystem.
Yeah, it's a great wheel. I've had it for a couple years now. It hasn't given me any faults, and it was still pretty good on the price range.
Yeah, exactly. That's where you can't beat those things. They are affordable direct drives, and I tell you what, I always keep an eye on those things for if there's ever a big sale for them.
Yeah.
Well, awesome stuff, Jameson. Next Sunday, though, we head to Daytona, wild card race. How do you feel about your super speedway skills?
It's always hit or miss, man. It's just, can you avoid it? I don't like the super speedways. I don't have the good luck. I like being able to put on some skill showcase instead.
Yeah, and I tell you what, well, if we get a chance to talk to you after Daytona, man, I know you'll definitely be pumped up with that, right? With how much luck goes into those races, especially with these next-gen cars, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially Daytona, such a prestigious track, race and all that. So hopefully we can get some good results in the future.
Yeah, that would be awesome to see. And once again, Jameson, thanks again for coming out. Not on the normal night to chat with us. Really do appreciate it. But before we let you go, man, and celebrate your career best finish so far, we're going to go hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you like to give a shout out to for this P number 3.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna shout out Rob Lowell, the owner of this league. I had some difficulties with my friend that was in here as well, and we got that settled out. Very clean dispute, and it could have been a lot worse than it really was, but just glad for his cooperation.
Alrighty, well, awesome stuff, Jameson. Thanks again for you, like I said, coming in here tonight, as well as being part of the show, man. Great run at Charlotte. Keep it on up, and I'm sure if you keep it up, we'll be talking to you again here in the future.
Yeah, thank you.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. That was our third place finisher, Jameson Heath. Now we'll head down to our runner-up finisher, who we have here tonight as well. It is the driver of the number 97 machine. It is Jeff Pogo. Jeff, how you doing?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing well. And I tell you what, first and foremost, I appreciate you chatting with me, not on the normal night here. And yeah, tell us about your Sunday and how you're feeling after 140 laps.
It was good. I wish it would have been about 10 laps longer.
Yeah, I tell you what, big moment from Josh Parker in those closing stages. Do you think you had what it took to get around him? Because I'm sure that right rear probably a little hot on that 26 machine, right?
Yeah, he got loose up there. I saw it out the windshield, and I just kind of knew that was my time to pounce. I was faster than him on the long run, especially running the higher line. He did a good job aero blocking, though. That's what you got to do in these things, and I kind of pride myself in thinking that I'm pretty good at doing it, and he did a wonderful job doing it to me. So, good job on him. But yeah, he just heated up a little bit too much, allowed me to close in, and I just had to search around, try to find that clean air. I think I could have went a little higher in 3 and 4, ran a little higher line to carry more speed down the front, but I was trying to be a little conservative. But it's a good race.
Yeah, that it was, Jeff. And finally for you, you actually able to finish a race and finish in a respectable spot. I mean, that's got to feel good in and of itself, not to maybe walk away with the win, but say, hey, you know what? We had a big time shot at it and finally was able to finish one of these things again, right?
Yeah, man, I've been in a little bit of a slump here lately. Been running good, but just getting caught up in other people's stuff. And, Thursday in the Elite Series was one too. I was, started 22nd or something at Pocono, worked my way all the way up to the front row, and then got taken out with a lap to go. So showing some speed. It'd be nice to get a win here soon.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's definitely only a matter of time before you see this 97 machine to victory lane. But, this upcoming week, tomorrow we have Old Atlanta, always a good track for you. But then Sunday we head to a super speedway. I know you're not the biggest fan of those. How's your outlook to maybe picking up that win here this week?
I don't know about a super speedway. I feel a lot better Thursday going after it at Atlanta. I just super speedways, man. It's a crapshoot. You could run the perfect race, hang out in the back, be up front, have a flawless race, and then one person throw a bad block and it just ruins the whole thing, and you finish 40th. So those are it does take skill. There's some guys in here that are pretty good at it, so I'd expect Kenny to probably show up for that one. He'd probably be one of my top picks if I was to bet on somebody to win it. I'd pick him before you'd pick me, just for the simple fact if I don't have good luck. If there's a wreck, I always find it.
Yeah, it definitely does seem that way, at least here recently, Jeff. But yeah, and Sunday night here, you're able to put together a great race. And I tell you what, you gave kudos to Josh Parker with your aero blocking, but man, you and Jim Ott, especially when you guys would start on the front row, man, you guys could really control that race for quite a bit of time.
Oh yeah, that was actually a really fun time. Me and Jim were talking about that. When me and him are good about working together, and I tend to favor a higher line at any track where there is one, where he favors the low line, which works out great for us. And then, being teammates, we really don't care who's in the lead. If we can, one of us will try to, like Jim led a lot this race, and then he was communicating with me. He's like, hey, if we can do it, I'd like to get you a lap lead. And I just told him, don't worry about it. I'll just get the lap lead when I win the race. And gave him a little chuckle. But no, the whole, kind of aero blocking both lanes, we kind of took off and broke away from everybody, and then we backed up our pace a little bit, and everyone closed back in. And then once they did that, we just fanned out to where nobody had clean air, and then they couldn't get around us. So he just protected the bottom and gave them dirty air, and then I just protected the top and gave him dirty air. I think if we wouldn't have been split up, he kind of fumbled a pit stop and lost some positions there. And I think if it wasn't for that, I think we probably would have controlled the thing all the way to the end. But yeah, it was a good night. Sucks Jim got taken out in something that's not his doing, but that seems like it's how it goes for our team. But move on. I know Jim's looking forward to Atlanta tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. Should be a good race.
Yeah, that it should be. I'm definitely looking forward to it as well. It's been a while since I've been to Old Atlanta, and never with these next gen cars. So I'm sure I've always heard it still eats the right rear. So I'm excited about that at least. Yeah,
it does. It'll tear up your right front too if you're not careful. So looking forward to it. But we were talking about Josh Parker. It's funny, last weekend, I guess last Thursday, after I got done running at Pocono, I was messaging Mike Kelly back and forth, and I was telling him, there's a handful of guys in here you can run door to door with and know that, you can send it in on the bottom and they're not going to come down on you, or you're not going to slide up on them, and you can bump and push and everything else and be clean. And we were talking about Parker, and Mike said, yeah, Parker's one of those too. I've raced with him for a long time. I said, well, I haven't raced him yet. I can't put him in that category, but after Sunday, I definitely am going to put him in that category.
Yeah, you guys, traded some paint races inches apart from one another, and to do it like you guys did, that's usually, at least for me with racing, that's almost a better feeling than winning. Winning has a different feel than, just putting together a really good battle with that right person, right?
It does, but like I've always said, I have just as much fun racing for 30th as I do racing for the win. So if it's good, clean racing, I don't care if I'm 30th door to door with somebody. I'm smiling, having fun the whole time. I'd rather be doing that than be out front, checked out, away from everybody.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely have that same thing. That's why it's racing, right? You got to have people around you and play that game. I like to say anyone can at least try and go out there and go fast, but where it really comes down to is that kind of that skill behind the wheel in the racecraft department.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All righty, Jeff. Well, awesome stuff to chat with you here. And I know it's a new season. Any new upgrades for your setup here with this season since the last little bit since we last chatted with you?
No, sir. Haven't touched a thing. The only, well, I wouldn't really call it an update. I put a wind sim on here, not really for the wind sim. I just have it on a switch so I can turn it on so my fat ass doesn't start sweating whenever I do endurance racing. So that's all I got on here.
There you go. Got to keep the driver cool and comfortable, right?
That's right.
Because I'll tell people, I know I've probably said it before on a broadcast, but, you know, you'll get the adrenaline going behind these virtual race cars, definitely get sweaty, and it's like, man, you can definitely get into it. It's a bunch of fun.
Oh, it is, and I mean, I wear one of those whoop bands and stuff, so I can monitor my heart rate throughout the race, and you know, it's crazy. It records it. You can tell exactly when the cautions are, when it's green flag, when you're, you know, battling someone side by side because that heart rate's elevated. And Rob had actually posted in the chat today about, you know, does anyone wear gloves when they race? Well, a lot of us do, but I wear motocross gloves mainly because they breathe real well and they have little grippies on the fingers, which works for me if, you know, I'm turning the buttons and stuff on my wheel, adjusting brakes and whatever else. But yeah, if I didn't have gloves on, like Thursday night, I was at that sim race Chicago and no gloves, and my hands were sweaty on the wheel. So you can definitely tell that it definitely matters wearing some gloves.
Yeah, that it does. And, you know, not a thing that, you know, a lot of sim racers think about, but it does make a nice difference. So, yeah, Jeff, once again, want to thank you for taking your time out of your, you know, non-league night to come here chat with us here. Always appreciate a little insight here. But before we let you go, man, and enjoy this runner-up finish, we're going to go hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you'd like to give a shout-out on the broadcast here.
Let's do Rob, Brandon, the guys putting on the league, do a great job. They've been getting full counts on Thursdays and on Sundays, so good to see the leagues driving like that. And then you, Brett, for doing I know it's not a live broadcast tonight, it's actually recorded broadcasting because you were out doing some, I don't know, hood rat stuff with your friends or whatever you were doing on Sunday, having a good old time. And then, of course, my wife for letting me do it, you know, a couple nights a week. So, and then I just gotta thank everybody in the league so far. They've done a good job, clean racing. Everything's respectful. Seems this season's gotten a lot better. And then my teammates, Steve, Brandon, and Jim. So good week. Gonna try to keep the momentum going into tomorrow and then carry that into Sunday.
All righty, sounds like a plan here, Jeff. And yeah, thank you for once again taking your time here tonight, as well as, you know, being part of the racing and kind of setting that standard for what's kind of expected in league. So you, Jeff, have yourself a great rest of the night, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again here in the near future.
You too, buddy. Have a good one.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. That was our runner-up finisher, Jeff Pogo. We sadly don't have Josh Parker here tonight, so we'll try and actually get a word with Josh Parker on the pre-race before Daytona here on Sunday night. So we're going to go try and wrap on up here with some post-race results here and yeah, get you guys on your way here tonight on this Wednesday night. So Josh Parker picks up career win number 4, his 4th win of 5 races here this season. Jeff Pogo finally gets a little bit of luck, able to finish in second, with Jamison Heath, a career best for the 71, will come home in 3rd. John Crosby will bring home 4th, and Connor Dudek, career best for him, a top 5 for the 50, he will finish in 5th. James Hislop will bring it home 6th. 7th going to Chris Muse. Frank Zingen, a top 10 for him. He will bring home 8th. Tyler Humphrey 9th. And Tyler Waltz rounding out the top 10. Scott Simley will finish 11th. 12th going to Isaac Morales. Brandon Guerin in 13th. Tristan Penna in 14th. And Alan Harris, last car on the lead lap, in 15th. P number 16 will be Steve Ritter. 17th is Johnny Barker. Sean Deal will finish in the 18th position. 19th going to Michael Wolf, Gary Wright in 20th. 21st is Grant Humphrey. Steve Holmes, able to continue every lap that he could, will bring it home in 22nd. Jim Ott in 23rd. Mike Kelly 24th. Dylan Hinton in 25th. Anthony Calatoni 26th. Scott Drost 27th. Brandon Hinton in 28th. Anthony Garland in 29th, Chris Proger in 30th. 31st going to Casey Gross. 32nd is Evan Fuquay. Joe Hudson in 33rd, our pole sitter here tonight with that Rock Pirate RC Pole Award. Matt Croak in 34th. Arabia Caton in 35th. Rob Lowe 36th. Nate Brooker 37th. And Connor Patton in 38th. And one more car, that is Mason Hall, will finish in 39th. So that will do it here tonight for, I guess, the race replay of the Sunday night race. Thanks to everyone tuning on in, watching live, or being part of the racing show. Like I said, be sure to tune into this Sunday night here on Turn 3 Racing Network. We got a banger coming at Daytona. So, yeah, that will do it here with this one. We got to, of course, thank, like I said, the drivers here tonight, the admins that put all the hard work in behind the scenes, as well as the league sponsors, that being BG Graphix, Riptide Radio, GStone Motorsports, Admin Box, Stone Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. I already said Admin Box, and then, of course, Rock Pirates RC. So, yeah, that'll do it here tonight for myself, and, be sure to turn into Turn 3 throughout the week, as we have a lot of great stuff during the summer, again, a little bit later, but during wintertime, we'll be back in full swing. Also, Turn 3 Racing Network partner with Premier Setup Shops. You can check them out with the link in the description. Even if you don't want to buy anything, a click will go a long way. Show that we can support them as they support us. So that'll do it here for me tonight. Everyone take care, stay safe, and I have been Brett the Jet in the booth, and I just flew by you. Have a good one.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today, and remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.